Hello YouTube fam, how are you doing? Welcome to Athena Virtue's channel. Athena's here, and yes, I am back. I'm recording today's video on June the 4th, and I'm literally, guys, very busy. I have been busy for the last 2 months, and as you know, in my last video, I said that I was traveling, and yes, I was traveling, and there are lots of changes in my life. I shared a tiny bit of it. I have relocated. Hey guys, so once again, as I was recording the video, I got a phone call, and yes guys, I am very busy, but I really felt the urge to share this video with you, to share the beautiful energy of Jupiter entering into Cancer on the 9th of June. I'm recording once again today's video on the 4th, and the reason, as you see in the chart here, just give me 1 second. Yeah, as you see in the chart here, is actually the chart of June the 4th, which is today, when I'm recording the video. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because oh geez, just give me 1 second. Let me make it a little lighter. Okay, so as I mentioned, the reason I am sharing or I'm recording today's video on the 4th is because the beautiful Venus, as you see in the chart here, and Venus and Jupiter have very similar energy. Okay, however, Jupiter is the greater benefic and Venus is the lesser benefic, but both of them are benefics. Both of them bring blessings, abundance, prosperity, money, attraction, you name it. Okay, so Venus and Jupiter are forming a beautiful sextile, as you see here. Venus is at 28 degrees 55 minutes in Aries, and Jupiter is at 28 degrees and 55 minutes in Gemini. Late degrees, it's an erratic degree, it's almost 29 degree. Okay, Venus is almost entering into Taurus, and Jupiter is almost entering into Cancer. And when Venus enters into Taurus and Jupiter enters into Cancer, both of them are going to form another beautiful sextile. Okay, because fire signs and air signs, they sextile with one another, and earth signs and water signs, they sextile with one another. So this is a very beautiful energy, for all signs. Nonetheless, once again, Venus is the lesser benefic and Zeus or Jupiter is the greater benefic. And as you know, in the story in the Greek mythology, Zeus or Jupiter was cheating on his wife Hera, and go and have a relationship, an affair with Venus or Aphrodite. Venus is his sister nonetheless, but in this in the goddess or god's mythology, there is nothing called incest. So but anyways, I just want to share that with you. And once again, this is very beautiful energy. Okay, because they're gonna dance in a sextile together. And as I mentioned before in many videos, the sextile is a Venusian energy. It brings opportunity to your door, but if you don't take advantage of the opportunity, then it's going to pass you by. Opportunity of on all levels: attraction, once again, money, people, beauty, you name it. Okay, and Venus is the ruler of the sign of Taurus. So, and I'm not going to focus on Venus, although I really want to. I'm trying to just get this video uploaded as soon as possible. I'll try to upload it tonight or tomorrow so you can watch it, but as I said, I am extremely busy, guys. Okay, so I'll try the best that I can, but the majority of this video is going to be about Jupiter, and a little bit also I'm gonna touch base on Mars, because Mars is gonna form a difficult aspect on June the 15th with Uranus. And to be perfectly honest, hold on, let me just open it so you can see it. There are so many charts are open. Okay, it's going to be a square with Uranus, as you see in the chart here. It's almost, it's not exact, but this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so you see Mars here, okay, forming a very hard aspect with Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus at late degree, an erratic degree, okay, and Mars at an erratic degree in Leo. Both are fixed signs, okay. And let me tell you guys, this is June the 15th. This energy, this aspect, the aspect of the square, which I've mentioned before, square is actually ruled by Mars, which means fights, war, explosion, you know. And Uranus is obviously a representation of sudden shocking event or accidents, or and something unpredictable. Okay, this energy between Uranus and Mars, and I'm sorry I started my video about talking about Mars and Uranus, but this is very explosive energy. This is the energy of accidents, of fighting, of arguments, of literally explosion. As I said, this is the energy of using what they call atomic weapons, or nuclear weapons, really. This is the energy of war. This is the energy of blood. This is the energy of death. This is the energy of suicidal activities, or suicidal attempts, or even suicide. Okay, this is the energy of murder, of killing. Okay, we're going to see blood. Okay, and I'm so sorry, I have to say, on a global level, Taurus rules, or not rules, but Israel is Taurus, and Mars rules Scorpio, and Palestine is Scorpio. So I am seeing a big explosion in the Middle East. Okay, and I'm so sorry I have to tell you this. This is not necessarily going to happen on the 15th of June, because as I mentioned, this is going to perfect on the 15th of June, but this energy is building up 10 days or even 2 weeks before. It's fixed energy, it's a stubbornness, it's my word or the my way or the highway. Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but this is really very difficult energy. And the signs that so on the global level, I do see explosion, I do see shedding bloods, I do see victims, I do see casualties. But on the personal level, okay, and the signs that mostly gonna be affected by this energy, obviously Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, because Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, okay, and also Scorpio, okay, because Mars rules Scorpio, but also Aries, because remember, Mars rules Aries as well. However, Mars is in a good aspect with Aries, or Leo is in a good aspect with Aries, because they trine with one another. And also Aries is protected by Saturn, although we see that Saturn, in fact, and on the same day as you see in the chart here, on the 15th, Saturn and Jupiter will gonna get into exact square, 1 degree and 17 minutes, as you see here, Saturn in Aries, and Jupiter just entered Cancer. But once again, guys, and I mentioned that in my previous video, this energy, it's not going to happen, or whatever is going to happen, the energy of fighting, arguments, and the energy of a Jupiter and Saturn is literally two higher ups, or people, presidents, or people in higher positions. Okay, this is not going to happen exact on the 15th. Whatever casualties, whatever obstacles, blockages, whatever issues, it's going to happen at least 10 days before the actual, because that's when the energy is building up. Okay, when they reach the exact degree of this square, after that, and once again, I've heard lots of astrologers talking about the square. The square is going to dissipate after, right after like the 16th, because Jupiter is faster than Saturn, and Jupiter is getting away from this energy. Okay, so the energy is going to be lessened, the energy is going to dissipate. It's going to be these planets going to be in separation. Okay, separation means the energy is going to dissipate, it's going to get less and less and less. Okay, so it's literally the energy of this square started already. Okay, as I'm recording this on June the 4th. So how is that going to manifest? Like, let's say we're talking about Jupiter and Saturn, you're going to be faced with obstacles. There's something is going to go against your way. There's somebody's going to make you feel fearful, because that's the energy of Saturn. Saturn is fear. Saturn is, doubt. Saturn is the feeling that I have a blockage. I am abandoned. I am restricted. I have to slow down. I can't. So that's why I said that Aries is going to be protected, even though Aries is ruled by Mars. Okay, but and Mars is a speed. Mars is a hastiness, being hasty, being impulsive. But and I'm pretty sure lots of Aries felt that energy once Saturn ingressed in their sign. They felt that they're slowing down, they're taking things one step at the time, because that's what Saturn teaching Aries is: to slow down, is to be structured, is to be disciplined, is to take it one step at the time, to be to think before you act, because under the energy of Mars, you're acting in a hasty way. Okay, but with Saturn there is telling you, hey, hold your horses and slow down. So that's why I said Aries now is under the protection. So, but I'm still warning you of accidents, okay, on a personal levels, fighting, arguments, heated arguments. Okay, and when I'm talking about fighting, I'm talking about physical activities, physical fights, because that's what Mars and Uranus is physical accident, physical fights. Okay, so be careful, guys, especially, once again, I say it again, Scorpio, because Taurus is in opposition to you, and especially if you are late degrees, Scorpio. Now also Aquarius and Leo, the energy is very potent, so be careful. That's what I see on a personal level. I don't see anything positive out of this energy between Mars and Uranus, guys. This is literally a nuclear weapons. This is war. Okay, if you go back and watch World War II, it literally happened when Mars and Uranus are in either square or position. I remember it's a square. Okay, so yeah, be careful of this energy. Okay, let me move on from this energy, because this is very extremely negative energy. I don't want even to talk about. But once again, this is not necessary. And on top of that, there is Algol here. I don't have it on the chart, but Algol, the fixed star Algol, is literally on top of Uranus. Okay, so that's why I said this is also the energy of suicide. Okay, Uranus is rules suicidal activities and suicidal energies, and Algol is beheading and so on and so forth. So, and it's the energy of murder as well. So I don't know if you've heard of what happened, and I believe in Colorado a couple of days ago, the guy who killed couple of people in Israel, in Israel, in Israeli embassy in US. Anyways, I don't remember the entire story, but it was in the news. But yeah, the energy is building up. Okay, it's not, once again, it's going to happen exact the same day of the 15th. It's building up already. Okay, it's getting intense day after day. Okay, once we pass the 15, Mars is fast, Uranus is slow, but Mars is fast, and Mars will enter into Virgo, and the energy is going to change. Okay, let's move on from this energy, because quite frankly, I don't like it. Okay, let's go back to the beautiful Jupiter.
Earlier I recorded a video about Jupiter, and I have forgotten about few things related to Jupiter in Cancer. And as you see in the chart, this is the transit chart of June the 11th, when we will have full moon in Sagittarius. Let me just make it a little bit clear for you. So we see here we will have a full moon in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is actually ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter just ingress in Cancer, as you see here, 0 degree and 19 minutes, okay, and is in its way to form the square with Saturn. Okay, now we will have this square is going to perfect on June the 15th, as I mentioned earlier. So just few days after we have this full moon in Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius once again is ruled by Jupiter, and the moon is actually the ruler of Sagittarius, this full moon basically is the ruler of Jupiter in Cancer, because because Cancer is ruled by the moon. So there's a mutual reception here between Jupiter and the moon. Okay, now my point here, what I'm trying to say is Jupiter in Cancer, as I mentioned earlier, Cancer is the sign of the family, nourishing and nurturing and caring for the family, the children, and it's the mother's energy, right? And Jupiter loves to be in Cancer because Jupiter is all about family ties. Remember, Zeus in the Greek mythology loves his mom because, his mom saved him and saved his life from his father, Uranus, which is Saturn. Okay, and that's why Jupiter is associated with luck, because he was lucky that his mother saved him. And that's one of the reasons he likes the sign of Cancer, because Cancer is a representation of the mother. Now, Jupiter also saved his siblings, his sisters and brothers from his father Zeus and his father's karma. Okay, so that's why Jupiter loves to be in Cancer. So Jupiter is the sign of fertility, as I mentioned earlier, just similar to Cancer is the sign of fatherhood and the sign of or likes to strengthen the family ties. Okay, so that's why during Jupiter in Cancer we see that the family ties getting strengthened. Okay, and Jupiter will expand on that. So even if you don't have family, you'll see that you're going to be joining groups like a soul tribe type of groups. Okay, the groups that they are you're connected with. Okay, on a soul level, like a like-minded people. Okay, there will be collaboration on all levels, even if you don't have family, even if whoever group that you belong to. Okay, even like if you live with a roommate or something along those lines, there's going to be ties or bonding with those people, because that's what Jupiter expand on this energy, the energy of family, the energy of nurturing and caring. Okay, so we'll see that even in senior homes, retirement homes. We see that also in the shelters and stuff like that. This is the energy of Jupiter. Now, when this square happens between Jupiter and Saturn, because Saturn, Aries, Saturn and Neptune, the square is, and that's what I forgot to mention earlier, Saturn and Neptune both are in Aries, and Aries has the energy of selfishness, of me, myself, and I. Everything I want to do what serves me personally, as I am, as an individual. And Saturn strengthens this individuality because Saturn is under the rulership of Mars, which is actually in a fire sign, just which is trining basically with Aries. Okay. And as I mentioned earlier, on the 15th, when the Saturn and Jupiter square, perfect, right? Because remember, the square is actually ruled by Mars. It's a Martian aspect, okay? On the same day, we will have this perfection of this square between Uranus and Mars, okay? And this is very negative energy. So here what we see, and the kind of energy that Saturn and Neptune, which are squaring Jupiter, what they're doing here is like, especially Saturn. Saturn is, so Jupiter wants to expand on the family, wants to protect the family, wants to create the collaboration and love and nurture and care between family members or the groups you belong to, okay? And wants to expand on that. But Saturn say, no, I want things to go my own way. Cronus selfishness, and Cronus restriction, and Cronus being limited, or the limitation and the fear that Cronus still into us. So no, I wanted to go my way or the highway, and I am going to cause tension and challenge Jupiter in his energy of strengthening the family, the family ties. Okay. Now, Neptune, on the other hand, is the energy of illusion, delusion, the energy of no boundaries, the energy of dreamy. That although Neptune, it has very similarity. All these planets, guys, by the way, they have similarity in the energy of faith and uh, you know. Um, belief system and stuff like that. But the negative energy, because the square is actually empowers the negative energy. So here Neptune is like, no, it's I don't want to follow any structure. I don't want to follow any. I don't care about the tradition, because family represent. Technically, family is a traditional thing, right? So you will see energy here challenging Jupiter desire to strengthen the tradition, to have commitment to the family, to help one another, to have that collaboration spirit. Okay. And here Neptune and Saturn, they say no. Because these two are under the energy of Mars, which is actually squaring Uranus. Okay. And I mentioned earlier that's an explosive energy. So here the individuality, which is coming from Aries, which is under the rulership of Mars, it's only about me, myself, and I don't care about the family. I don't care about tradition. I want to do things my own way, what serves me, what serves my desires. Okay. Now, on the other hand, Jupiter, as I mentioned earlier, is once again is to strengthen family ties. Okay. Jupiter. So how was that represented in the legal system? If you remember, I told you Jupiter is the legal system. So Jupiter, okay, or the legal system, you will notice when Jupiter is in Cancer, and I mentioned that earlier, if especially for Scorpio, but not only Scorpio and Cancer, anyone who's going through legal system, especially when it's related to family matter, okay, like divorce, spousal alimony, or child support, you will see that during Jupiter in Cancer, these matters going to increase, okay, and it is going to the favor of the family, who's taking care of the children, who's actually providing support for the children. You'll see these legal matters going to be in favor of the person or the parent who actually taking care of the children. Okay, you'll see that. So if you are a mom, a mother, or a father taking care of children, rest assured, and you have legal matter going in court. Okay. But this is not only about legal matter. This is also family matter. This is also could be related to employment matters and stuff like that. So any groups that they're trying to expel somebody out of the group, or isolate somebody out of the group, alienate somebody, alienation, like isolation. Okay. It's the legal matter is going to go against them. Okay. So if you belong to a group, let's say in at work, okay, and all of a sudden you're fired, so you are being alienated, right? Or you're being isolated. Okay. You're being expelled from your group. Rest assured that if you're taking your employer to court because you're being separated, you're being wrongfully dismissed, or if you have a family matter, okay, related to child support, spousal support, something along those lines, rest assured that while Jupiter in Cancer, the legal matter is going to go to your favor, okay? Because Jupiter is all about groups, it's all about ties between the society, between the family, okay, strengthening the ties. So that's why I said that Jupiter, okay, if you have legal matter going on in court, it's going to your favor, okay? Especially, as I mentioned, if it's related to separating somebody or isolating somebody, or abandoning somebody, okay? Taking rights or entitlement from somebody. This is going to be to your favor if you are struggling, or you're seeking fairness and justice, okay? Now, once again, Saturn and Neptune will create friction with Jupiter, okay? Because remember, these are in Aries, okay? And I'm not here pointing my fingers to Aries, but this is the energy of Mars. This is the energy of Aries, me, myself, and I. I want to be the way I am, and I don't care about tradition. I don't care about commitment. I don't care about agreement. And if you remember, also, I told you earlier that Jupiter is all about agreement. It's all about committing to something, okay? So Jupiter is not like Mars, okay, about the lover or about the sexual energy. Jupiter is about making commitment, okay? Commit to the family. So marriages, legal matters, okay? Everything has to be there is an agreement and terms and conditions. There is legality of anything, okay? Commitment. Once again, if you are in a relationship, you have to get married, okay? That's the energy of Jupiter in Cancer. That's why I said marriage is going to increase, fertility, pregnancy, and so on and so forth, okay? Now, also this full moon in Sagittarius, although it's a full moon, but rest assured, also it's all because, whether you are Cancer or any sign for that matter, because you are ruled by this moon is under the rulership of Jupiter, and also Jupiter is under the rulership of the moon. So there is, as I said, mutual reception. So don't worry about this energy is or the energy of the full moon. I see actually this full moon is going to bring people together, okay? And as I mentioned, I've always mentioned that the full moon is a reversal of a situation. Yes, situations or relationship or whatever, it's going to come to culmination, okay? But it's also a reversal of a situation. So if there is separation, or if there is, somebody was being abandoned, or there is, I see that these people gonna come together, okay? They're going to be bonding. They're going to be coming together, or getting together, okay? That's what I see about this energy. I'm not sure. I'm going to insert this clip into the other video because it's related to what I've mentioned earlier, and I'm hoping that I'm posting this video before the weekend. Okay, once again, I'm recording this on the 4th, and if there's any addition, I'll be adding to this. But this is not the energy of the entire month of June. I'm just focusing on Jupiter, and I haven't spoken in details about each of the zodiac signs. I'll try to make a video about that as well. And also stay tuned for tarot reading, because I really love this energy, and I'm very positive. I'm very optimistic about the energy of Jupiter in Cancer. Okay, so I wish you best of luck, guys, and I wish you
As
happy
you see
Jupiter
in
in
this
Cancer.
chart,
And I'll
this is
see
the
you on the
chart of
next one.
June the 6th, and you see here that Venus already entered into Taurus, just ingresses into Taurus, as you see here, okay, and still forming a beautiful sextile. It's actually Venus is trining with Mars, okay, within about 7 degrees or so. It's still considered a trine, but also is forming a sextile with Jupiter. Jupiter is at an erratic degree and getting ready to enter into Cancer. Okay, Jupiter will ingress into Cancer on June the 9th. Okay, but yeah, so and also Venus here is forming, is kind of it's not exact, the energy is building up, kind of square with Pluto. A couple of days later, Venus will be reaching an exact square with Pluto, okay. Once again, this is on June the 6th when Venus ingresses into Taurus. Okay, and as we see here, also Saturn is forming a sextile with Uranus, and yeah, this is pretty much, and the Sun is trining with the Moon. The Sun is in Gemini, trining the Moon in Aries. Sorry, in Libra. Okay, and a few days later, I believe June the 11th, we will have a full moon in Sagittarius. Anyways, this video is not about the full moon or the new moon. This video is about Jupiter energy into Cancer, because there's lots of talks about Jupiter in Cancer, and you probably heard lots of people, lots of astrologers talking, and you probably sensed also the happiness in people's tone and voices when they talk about Jupiter in Cancer, even though lots of people didn't like Cancer as well. Unfortunately, Jupiter was in Gemini, and Jupiter is in detriment in Gemini, because if you remember, guys, and I mentioned that in my previous video, Jupiter in domicile, because Jupiter in Sagittarius, Jupiter ruled, Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, but also, and that's what in domicile, but Jupiter was for the last year in Gemini, the sign that's opposite of Sagittarius. So whatever Jupiter we've been through last year, okay, there was so much, Jupiter was going through so much of difficulties. At one point in time, Jupiter was retrograde, okay, and when Jupiter is in detriment in the sign that he's not, he's having difficulty to uh, provide the expansion. In fact, provide the expansion in the opposite sense, or what I'm trying to say here is expansion in rumors, because that's what the sign of Gemini is: lies, rumors, the social media and the mainstream media, lies and deception and manipulation, and all kind of hypocrisy and lies and so on and so forth, and also scandals and exposing those people. So Jupiter was expanding on that, okay. And I'm sorry, I'm not targeting Gemini specifically, but that's what, and especially when Mercury goes retrograde, because Jupiter is ruled under the rulership of Mercury, and Mercury rules Gemini. So once again, Jupiter expanded on that negative energy. Okay, now for the sign of Cancer in particular, and that's why I said lots of people hate Cancer. We've seen the hate towards Cancerians and towards, like, for example, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a double Cancer as well. Okay, and the vandalism and the burning of Tesla cars, and that's all showed Elon Musk his enemies. And yes, because that's the 12th house. The 12th house, you're going to be dealing with enemies. And personally, myself, I've dealt with enemies. I've seen people that I trusted all my life. I've seen their true colors. I've been through a lot, guys. You can't believe it. When Jupiter was in Gemini, I might gonna share other stories on another in another video, because I don't want to take too much time. I really want to share the abundance and prosperity and the blessing that Jupiter brings when enters into Cancer. But yeah, Jupiter and Gemini made me see my enemies, hidden enemies. Hidden enemies means people you trusted. Now you see their true colors: deception. You literally being stabbed in your back. Okay, and once again, I'll share that on another video. But yeah, so now, and once again, what I was trying to say is, when I was talking about Jupiter, you've heard lots of people, lots of astrologers talking about Jupiter entry into Cancer, even though from their tones and from videos I've seen in the past, they always say negative stuff, and you can sense the hate towards Cancer. Okay, but you gotta understand, guys, you can't de-associate Jupiter from Cancer. Okay, there's just no way. Okay, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. Okay, and the purpose of my video today is to explain to you why Jupiter was exalted in Cancer. Okay, it's not only a term that was just said. And when you really understand astrology, okay, and just on a side note, why lots of like religions and religious people, they don't want you to learn astrology, and they say that astrology is taboo. And yes, astrology is listed as a cult and as mysticism, but the idea is these religions, or the religious people who control the religion, they don't want you to learn the truth. They don't want you to know what's going on. They don't want you to dig deep and find the secrets of this realm, okay, and of other realms that we don't know. They don't want you to grow and ascend as a soul being, okay. You can't believe it, guys. I'm gonna share with you things so that you understand. If you literally learn astrology, you're gonna find answers to things that's been like kind of dilemma, or caused a dilemma. It was very like things that vague, things like you did not have answer to before, but once you learn astrology, especially when it comes to relationship between people, okay, and other energies as well. These planets that were created by the divine and created in a perfect way, they were created for a reason, okay. And one of the reason is they have gigantic energy on us, okay. And it affects our lives, it affects our decisions, it affects our purpose in life as well. So anyways, once again, the purpose of my video is to tell you why Jupiter exalted in Cancer. As we all know, Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. Sorry, my mouse is okay. So Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, which is the 9th house in the zodiacal wheel, and Jupiter is also the co-ruler of Pisces, which is the 12th house. And these two houses are related, or representation of higher knowing, higher knowledge, faith, legal matters, especially Sagittarius. Jupiter does rule legal matter, or legal activities, okay. As I mentioned before, Saturn is the judge, but Jupiter is the legal or the legal system, okay. And Pisces is the faith and higher knowing, higher knowledge, higher wisdom, okay. So as Sagittarius, a higher education, travel, especially both of them, the 9th and the 12th, foreign lands, foreign countries, foreign people, what else, yeah, if I didn't mention faith, and also a representation of religion, and representation also of the higher realm as well, okay. And just on a side note, we all talk about Saturn as the taskmaster, or the wise master, but Jupiter and Saturn actually share lots of qualities, okay. Both of them are the teachers, both of them are the wise men, both of them are the husbands, both of them are is the higher knowing, and and enlightenment, okay. The only difference between Saturn and Jupiter is Saturn instills fear and doubt and being slow and structure and discipline in a malefic way, okay. Saturn is malefic, okay, in a malefic way, in a way that you feel you're being obstructed, you feel like you're being restricted, you're being limited, okay. That's how Saturn is. It's like, if you don't listen, I'm going to punch you. Saturn holds the karma, the curse of his, or Uranus holds the curse of his father Uranus, okay. When he betrayed his father and overthrown Uranus, Saturn was carrying the karma with him, or Cronus, okay. Whereas Jupiter brings blessing and abundance, is the teacher who wants you to learn in order to grow and expand. Jupiter is the explorer, guys, okay. Jupiter rules exploration. That's why Jupiter rules the travel and exploring new horizons, new levels of knowledge, exploring other places and other countries and foreign lands, and exploring other experience, and be open-minded, okay. explore other opportunities. That's what Jupiter is actually the opportunity that comes to you in an easy way, without even like it's gonna fall in your lap, and it's gonna, everything goes you the way you want it, even like without asking for it. That's the Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is the teacher. Okay, and now, as I'm talking about, Jupiter is the teacher, and Jupiter is the father, Jupiter is the husband. Okay, Jupiter is abundance, prosperity. Now you know why I'm talking about Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. Cancer rules by the moon. Okay, and the moon is all about hidden realm, is about higher knowledge. Okay, is about digging deep in the sky to get to know things, to get to know things that's hidden from you, you don't know. But Cancer also is the family, is the roots, is where you feel sanctuary, where you feel like you have roof over your head, where you feel safe and secure. Okay, is your family, is the Cancer ruled by the moon. That's the feminine energy, that's the mother. Okay, the mother of the zodiac. Okay, who loves, who nurtures, who cares, who gives abundantly, who gives with no limits. And that's exactly why Jupiter exalted in Cancer. But on top of that, Jupiter is the teacher. Why Jupiter once again likes Cancer? Jupiter loves the environment of Cancer, or the constellation of Cancer, because Cancer is the mother. And who is your first teacher when you are born? The first teacher you meet with in this physical realm is your mother. Okay, so and don't tell me, oh, I have a toxic mom, or my mom abandoned me. I'm sorry, I don't know what your situation, you know your situation better than I am, and maybe you need to watch your behavior and how you speak with your mother, whether you're showing respect and appreciation or not. But for the matter of this video, the mother, which is the mother of the zodiac, or the empress, even though like in tarot cards, they tell you, some tarot readers, they tell you empress rules Libra, but in reality, the empress is actually Cancer. Okay, there is the similarity between Libra and Cancer, but the Empress is literally Cancer, because it represents the mother who nurtures her babies, okay, and who teaches her children, who takes care of them, who gives love and care, and the security, the feeling of being secure in your mother's arms. Okay, and yes, is the Cancer is the teacher of the zodiac. Oh, because your mother is your first teacher, right? And that's exactly why Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Jupiter loves to be in Cancer because this is the environment where Jupiter will give abundantly, okay, with no limit. Okay, prosperity, blessing, teaching, higher knowledge, exploration, travel, you name it, guys. Relocation, expansion in the house. Yeah, and there's a lot I want to talk about related to Jupiter in Cancer, but literally that's the main thing that I want to focus on. Cancer also is the sign of nourishment, is the sign of peace, is the sign of love, is the sign of family, and that's where Jupiter likes to grow, likes to give you the growth. Okay, allows you to grow and expand that beautiful, that positive energy. Now there are lots of astrologers, they're not going to share this with you, they're not going to tell you that, but that's what it is. Jupiter is nourishment. Okay, Jupiter is, and what's nourishment? It's like feeding you. If you look at any Cancer, okay, and I'm not talking about the lower vibrational Cancerians, but Cancer likes to feed people. Cancer would stop in the middle of the road, okay, even if a Cancerian driving, or like would give donation, would give charity, would feed the poor, would give a hand to those people, handicapped or disabled people. Okay, because there is something about this sign. Once again, it's the mother who loves to give with no limit. And I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I can easily get emotional when I talk about this energy. Cancer also the sign of being patient, of persevering, of endurance. Okay, um, and that's why Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Okay, also Cancer is the sign of forgiveness. Okay, and letting go. Now I know lots of people, they tell you Cancer doesn't let go, is detached, is attached, and this is bullshit. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about other now let me tell you this, guys. Okay, I'm talking specifically about Cancer Sun and Cancer Moon. I know lots of people, they tell you, oh, you have to listen to your rising sign, blah blah blah. No, no, listen guys, listen carefully. The sun sign is, or the sun is your sole purpose. Okay, the sun, I've said that a million times. Okay, the sun is your sole purpose on the planet Earth, is uh, your soul. Okay, is who you truly are. Okay, rising sign or your rising is how people envision you, is how people see you, is literally like the suit you wear. Okay, and so people judge you by your suit. Okay, judge you by how um like you look like, but in your soul, okay, who you really are, that's your sun. Okay, so the other thing I want to tell you guys also is you need to watch your natal chart, your birth chart. Where is Jupiter placement in your natal chart? There is something that you need to understand and take it for granted. Okay, when Jupiter, okay, placement is where your sun sign is. Okay, for example, and I'm gonna give you this example. Okay, um let's say you're Aries, your sun sign is Aries. Okay, and your Jupiter is within 5-6 degrees from your sun. Okay, I'm giving you this example because I have an Aries sun, and he was born with Jupiter conjunct his sun. Okay, so but anyways, regardless of this, I want you to understand, if Jupiter is forming a conjunction with your sun in your birth chart, you have to understand that you are under the protection of Jupiter no matter what. Okay, no matter what difficulties you go through, no matter what hardship you go through, no matter what issues or obstacles or whatever. Okay, Jupiter is creating an aura of protection. Okay, is like a shield that protects you from negative energies, from all kind of negative energies, whether physical or even just like an energy. Okay, any kind of harm. That's what Jupiter does when it's in conjunction with your sun. Okay, um, literally a protection, luck, and blessings. No matter what kind of difficulty you go through in your life, you are going to be lucky enough to be saved, okay, from any harm that anybody can cause to you. Okay, you are saved technically. That's what I want to say. Okay, that's what Jupiter placement in your natal chart specifically, and I'm talking specifically if it's forming a conjunction with your sun, even within 3-4 degrees, 5 degrees, okay, from your sun. Okay, that's how Jupiter is abundant and is giving you blessings when is forming a conjunction with your sun. Now let me go back in history, okay, and share with you when was Jupiter now the other thing is, we all know that Jupiter exalt. Now you understand why we said Jupiter exalted in Cancer. However, I want to go back, and I'm sorry guys, there's just too much going on in my life, and I keep getting phone calls, and I have so many appointments. But anyways, on June the 24th, and let me share this chart with you, just bear with me. Yeah, this is June 24th. Let me just wipe out this scribbles on the screen here, because I want you to see clearly what I'm talking about. Just bear with me. And I just want to apologize guys, I didn't bring this video up a while ago because once again, I'm so busy. I was in a move, and I've been telling you for too long that I'm a, if you've been following me since I started on YouTube, I've been telling you I'm a double Cancer Sun and Rising. And the other thing is, I am a Sagittarius moon. So my moon is actually in Sagittarius. So you can understand how Jupiter energy is. I felt Jupiter energy since end of March. Okay. Yeah, if you are a cardinal sign, or if you are a Cancer like me, especially if you are double Cancer, okay, and you have the moon in Sagittarius, you would have felt this energy of Jupiter long ago, not when Jupiter enters into Cancer on the night. No, long ago. Okay, I've been traveling for a while. I've been exploring new areas and new locations and new places, and yeah, I've been there's just too much going on in my life. But anyways, so on June 24th, this is the chart of June 24th. Okay, June 24th, as you see in the chart here, Jupiter and the Sun is forming exact conjunction in the sign of Cancer, 3 degrees and 21 minutes. This is when Jupiter is being reborn. And I've spoke about it in my previous video, guys. I told you about Jupiter combustion, and I told you if Jupiter is within 8 to 9 degrees away from the Sun, then Jupiter is being kind of burned. Okay, there's another astrologer which I really laugh when he says that Jupiter is dying, Jupiter is dying. But the terminology that's used in astrology is the combustion. Combustion means that the Sun is overtaking Jupiter's power. Okay, however, guys, okay, Jupiter in Cancer, okay, because Jupiter exalted in Cancer, unlike when it was in Gemini, even when it's overtaken by the Sun, okay, the energy is still abundant. Okay, because the Sun is forming a protection to Jupiter. Okay, however, when they both meet at exact the same degree in the sign of Cancer, this is when Jupiter is reborn stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay, so here Jupiter is like a zero, like he was just born. Basically, he regained all the powers, even the power of the Sun. Okay, and is becoming stronger. So his strength now is tripled, if not even is like. So what I'm trying to say is the expansion, the abundance is going to give, it's going to be limitless. Okay, it's going to be with no limits. Okay, the abundance and the prosperity and the blessings. Okay, and that's what the exact conjunction mean. Okay, if we go back in history, and I know we've had like 12 years ago, because Jupiter goes to the same sign every 12 years, right? Because it stays in the sign about 12, 13 months. So Jupiter, the last time was in Cancer was in 2012, 2013. Yeah, sorry guys, I keep getting phone calls. But anyways, yeah, so the last time Jupiter was in Cancer was in 2013. But at that time, and as you see in the chart, Jupiter did not form a conjunction with, yeah, so this is in 2013, as you see in the chart here. Just give me 1 second. Let me wipe this out. You'll see the conjunction happen in Gemini. So that wasn't in Cancer, it was in Gemini. Actually, the exact conjunction that happened between Jupiter and the Sun back in 2013 was on July the 19th of 2013. On July the 19th of 2013, Jupiter and the Sun met at the same degree, 28 degrees as you see in the chart, and 31 minutes in the sign of Gemini. And this is an erratic degree. Okay, it did not happen in Cancer. It happened in the sign where Jupiter is in detriment. Okay, Jupiter is weak in this sign. Jupiter is in the sign that's opposite to what Jupiter rules. However, okay, however, still Jupiter is abundant. Okay, still Jupiter brings prosperity and expansion. Okay, I can share so many stories with you during that year. Yeah, actually that year I purchased my own personal house. Okay, it's a beautiful property. I moved to a city in Ontario, a little bit far. Well, it is far actually from Toronto downtown. And I once again, I purchased my own house with my own money. Okay, and yeah, it's a very beautiful house. Anyways, I sold my house, but yeah, I lived in that house for many, many, many years, and it brought lots of blessings to me, even when I sold the house. So, anyways, yeah, that's what happened with me in June, in actually 2013. Okay, um, and as you see in the chart here, this giant, uh, you know, trine, or yeah, like. Uh, that's what Jupiter is forming, right? This is all blessings because the trine is ruled by Jupiter, okay? Which means opportunities and abundance come to you from even without asking for it. It's going to fall on your lap. But this is, once again, it happened in the sign of Gemini. Now, the the only time that Jupiter and the Sun came into conjunction in the sign of Cancer is actually in July, in July 19th of 2002. Okay, and I'm sorry guys if I said the July 19th when in 2013, it was June the 19th. Okay, so Jupiter and the Sun came into conjunction in the sign of Gemini on June the 19th of 2013. But if we go back in July 19th of 2002, actually Jupiter, and just give me 1 second and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna point to it with the this virtual pen. See, here you are. Jupiter and the Sun, actually Mercury and Mars as well. But yeah, Mars was a little bit far in Leo. But look at this, guys. In 2002, Jupiter and the Sun came into exact conjunction at late degree in Cancer, 27 degrees and 10 minutes, late degree in Cancer. And now we're going to experience the same thing, okay? However, early degrees in Cancer, okay? So we didn't have exact conjunction in the sign of Cancer since 2002. And it was in July, as you see here. Mercury was also very close to the Sun. So this is like a triple conjunction, okay? We're going back to June 24th, okay? And we will see this exact conjunction happens at early degree in Cancer. Guys, let me tell you this. When Jupiter and the Sun come in exact conjunction, this is not only the most beautiful day of the year, okay? This did not happen for 22 years. Literally did not happen for 22 years, okay? Sorry, 23 years to be exact. Exactly. Since 2002, this is very rare phenomena, okay? And let me tell you guys, when the Sun and Jupiter come in a conjunction like this, why astrologers, they call it the rebirth of Jupiter? Because this is the most blessed day. This is actually coincide with the summer equinox. What makes it also the most beautiful day, the most the luckiest day, the most fortunate day since 2002, okay? Once again, because Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, okay? What makes it the most fortunate day is the very following day after, literally the following day after, we will have on June the 25th, we will have a new moon in Cancer. See this, guys? Look at this. This is triple conjunction between the moon. This is a new moon in Cancer on June 25th. The sun, obviously new moon is when the sun and the moon come in conjunction, and Jupiter. Less than a degree, few minutes, we have a triple conjunction between Jupiter, the sun, and the moon. Okay? This actually marks the most fortunate day for the past 23 years. Literally 23 years, we've never had this. This is very rare phenomenon. Okay? Be prepared for blessings, whoever you are, whatever sign you are. Okay? But let me tell you guys, if you are Cancer, if you are water sign, means Pisces or Scorpio, then you are the most fortunate of all zodiac signs. Right after that are the cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and obviously Cancer. These are the signs that they're going to feel the blessings more than anybody else. Water signs, obviously Cancer, because everything is happening into Cancer, and early degrees. Okay? And regardless if you were born early or early degree Cancer, okay, regardless, you're gonna feel the blessings. And I am, unlike other astrologers, I'm telling you, focus on your sun. Because look at the sun. Look at the sun. The sun is your sole purpose. Of course, rising Cancerians will feel the abundance, but your sun sign is the most important thing. And your moon as well. This new moon is happening between the sun and the moon. They're coming into conjunction. Okay? And Cancer is ruled by the moon. So if you are water sign, if you are cardinal sign, or if you are Leo, you're gonna feel the abundance because, the sun rules Leo. And then also if you are Pisces, obviously you're a water sign, but also if you are Sagittarius, you're gonna feel the abundance because Jupiter is your ruler. Okay, so these are the signs that they're gonna most feel the blessings. Now, everybody gonna feel the blessings because once again, Jupiter in Cancer will give abundantly, will give with love and nourishment and expand on your horizon, expand your higher wisdom, your higher knowledge, your higher knowing. Okay, all kind of blessings gonna come to you. Limitless. Okay, now Virgo and Taurus will feel, I pretty much mentioned all signs, okay? Virgo and Taurus will have the blessings as well because Jupiter sextile with you in Cancer. Cancer sextile with Taurus and Virgo. So you're going to feel the blessings. So what does it mean Jupiter enters into Cancer? It means not only abundance, prosperity, money, blessings. When we talk about blessings and abundance, we're talking about pregnancy, we're talking about giving birth, because Jupiter rules the production, rules the husband, is the husband actually. And I'm going to share something funny with you guys. It's just going to make you literally believe in astrology. Okay, so Jupiter is the husband for the woman, and for the man, Jupiter is your status in the community or in the society. Okay, so Jupiter is the husband, is the man, is not the lover like Mars. Okay, Mars represents the lover. Okay, Mars, look, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Okay, where's Saturn here? All represent the husband. Okay, but Mars specifically is the lover. Okay, it's all about sexual energies, but Jupiter and Saturn represent commitment. Okay, so not only the lover, but the lover who wants to commit, who wants to have children. So we will see lots of pregnancy, giving birth, expansion in the family, okay, expansion in the house. I'm talking about Jupiter now, okay? We will see marriages. Okay, once again, Jupiter represent commitment. So if there's any relationship, it's going to be committed. Okay, it does represent agreement, signing contracts, marriage contracts. Okay, that's what Jupiter is. And once again, Jupiter is the husband, is the father. Okay, that's why I said Jupiter represent or loves to be in Cancer. Okay, Jupiter is greater than Mars in terms of the sexual energies. Once again, Jupiter is not only sexual energies, but Jupiter commit to the relationship, commitment. Okay, Jupiter will never hurt you, even if forming a square with Saturn. Okay, you got to understand that even if Jupiter is forming a negative energy or negative aspect with a planet in your natal chart, Jupiter is not going to hurt you or cause any harm to you. Jupiter is a benefic or brings benefic energies, benefic or benefits basically. Okay, blessings. However, Jupiter will always bring wisdom and growth and protection to you. Okay, so even if there is a negative aspect, remember that Jupiter wants you to be protected. Okay, and wants you to grow and be the wise person, the wise man, the wise woman, whatever. Okay, higher knowing, higher knowledge, being. Jupiter and Saturn to me is the representation of the hermit. Okay, even though I see Saturn as more of the hermit who's going to be isolated and take isolation or take refuge away from the world in order to go deep into his soul and connect with the higher self and connect with the spirit guides and with the divine to get the enlightenment. Remember the hermit in tarot cards, it's more of a Saturn, but also Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter doesn't like to be isolated. Jupiter like to be, getting to know others and meeting other people and get to know others and share. Jupiter is about sharing. Okay, I got the word sharing the blessings, sharing the abundance, sharing the knowledge. Okay, share the prosperity, share the house, share share with his family, share everything with the family. Okay, sharing the food, sharing the money, share everything. That's the energy of Jupiter. And that's why Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, because Cancer has exact same qualities, and Jupiter feels happy in Cancer because that's the environment where Jupiter can give limitlessly. Okay, because that's where Jupiter feels like the energy is reciprocated in the sign or in the constellation of Cancer. Okay, I don't know, I would literally have notes in front of me, but I didn't even look at the notes, and I'm just talking. Okay, the other thing is I want to mention in like the exaltation degree in astrology. Okay, there is an exaltation degree for the sign or for the planet Jupiter. In Vedic astrology, they say it's a degree. It's a 5 degrees. So, and Jupiter here is at 3 degree. So it's early degree, and Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, right? So, however, in other mythologies, they're saying that the exaltation degree is the degree or the 15th degree. Okay, so for me, I don't care what degree. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer regardless. Okay, but once again, in different mythologies, some they say the degree number 5, and some they say degree number 15. So regardless, when we talk about the abundance, we always give 4 or 5 degrees from both direction, either direction. So even if it is 5 degree, okay, so if you are Cancer, 1st degree of Cancer, you're still gonna feel the abundance. If you're 17, 20 degree of Cancer, you're gonna still feel the abundance. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you where's my sun sign is at what degree, but I felt the abundance since April. Okay, and I've been exploring, I've been traveling, I've relocated, I moved, and there's lots of things happening in my life. Okay, and yeah, so that's about it. Okay, Jupiter will push you to take And I've been telling you that, guys, for a while. Start doing what you need to do now, okay? I've been telling you that since April, since end of March, because Jupiter is going to open new horizons your way, okay, in your path. I've been saying that forever. Don't wait, because for the next year, and the abundance that Jupiter gonna bring to you, it's not gonna be for next year only, because even after end of June of 2026, Jupiter is gonna enter into Leo. Okay, and this is your second house, Cancer. This is the house of your money. Okay, so the abundance is going to be with you for the next 4, 5, 6. In fact, until Jupiter goes into Aries, because every and yeah, eventually Jupiter will go into your Aries, where for Cancer, for example, that's your 10th house. Okay, so that's a stat elevation, your stats. In fact, even now Saturn in Aries for Cancerian, that's elevation in your status. Okay, because Saturn is higher authority. It's going, these opportunities going to come to you within the next 3 years, because Saturn will be in Aries for the until sometime in 2028. I can't remember, because remember, this year Saturn is going to be in Aries for about 3 months. In September, it's going to go back retrograde into Pisces, but then next year, early next year, Saturn will go back into Aries and going to be sitting there until sometime in 2028. I can't remember the date exactly, but that's about it. Now, if you are any sign, but especially if Jupiter in Cancer, if you are Cancer or if you are Scorpio, because Scorpio, where's my cursor? For Scorpio, obviously, Cancer is your 9th house. So if you are dealing, or if you are Cancer with any legal matter, okay, and you are going to be dealing with legal matter, because that's other energies that Jupiter brings when it goes into Cancer. But rest assured, that's going to go to your favor, okay? Even if there are obstacles at the beginning, or delays or whatever, okay, it's going to go to your favor, okay? Because why? Whether you're Cancer or Scorpio, because Jupiter for Scorpio, it trines with you, okay? So Jupiter forms a trine with Scorpio. So even if there are difficulties, and this is your 9th house, if you are dealing, and I see so many Scorpions will be dealing with legal matter, either spousal support, child support, whatever, even like employment, due to employment or whatever, there will be legal matter. Or it could be even related to immigration, okay? It's gonna go to your favor, okay? For Cancer, yes, you are going to be dealing with legal matter, even if it's a ticket, okay? And yeah, but it's going to go to your favor, rest assured, okay? Now, the other thing is, for Pisces, obviously, this is your 5th house, okay? So this is the house of having fun, going out and about, meeting new people, getting a new relationship, new affairs, love affairs. The 5th house is the house of Leo, the love, the heart, okay? And also the house of children and house of luck. Something falls in your lap. And that's what Jupiter brings luck, fortune, okay? Without even it's like, I don't promote gambling, I don't promote buying lottery tickets, but that's what Jupiter brings, okay? And the 5th house, okay? Literally brings luck from nowhere, okay? So that's why I said Jupiter will benefit water signs the most, okay? Now Jupiter going to benefit everybody, including Gemini, because this is your 2nd house, okay? The house of money. So Gemini, you're gonna have money coming your way, okay? If you're selling a house or something, or even from your work, okay? So I pretty much touched base. Let me see what else I want to talk about. Now, the other thing is I want to tell you is I want to share with you, okay? Maybe you've never heard me, and that's going to make you really love listening to astrology and learning astrology, okay? I've probably shared with you a million times, and I told you I'm a double Cancer, Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising, and I have moon. My moon is actually in Sagittarius, okay? And as a Cancer, Saturn is the ruler of my 7th house. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, and Saturn also is the ruler of my 8th house, okay? The funny part is, guys, and I'm sharing this with you, and I just want to share with you the blessings I experienced back in 2002 when Jupiter and the Sun came into exact conjunction at the end of late degrees Cancer, okay? And Jupiter is the ruler of my sixth house rules Sagittarius. Okay, I actually I was okay. Now before I speak about the blessings that came to me or I experienced back in 2002 or 2013, I told you about my own house. Before I say that, Jupiter is as I said, Jupiter is expansion. You probably heard lots of other astrologers talking about the expansion and talking about that Jupiter, yeah, makes you gain weight. That's true. I've mentioned that before too, but that's only happens in two situations, okay? First situation is a pregnancy, 100%. Jupiter brings pregnancy, okay? Yes, and you are going to gain weight due to pregnancy. The other situation, when you are going to gain weight, because in my situation, I was pregnant in 2002. However, I lost tremendous amount of weight when Jupiter, after I gave birth to my son, and after also 2013, when Jupiter entered into Cancer. Jupiter makes you gain weight if you don't take advantage of the qualities that Jupiter brings. Means traveling, means moving, means of exploration or exploring. Because remember, I told you Jupiter is the explorer. Jupiter likes to travel to other horizons, to other places, to explore, cities and hidden realms and stuff like that. So you don't take advantage of this energy, okay? Even like spiritually, let's say, even if you don't travel, even if you're not on the move, okay, but just expand your horizon in a spiritual way, like learning a new spiritual like learning another religion or learning something in philosophy or going to school for seeking or to seek higher knowledge, okay, reading books and expand your horizon, your mental horizon, your intellect. If you don't take advantage of the Jupiter energy, then what happens is, yes, you wanted to indulge, you want to eat food, you want to eat sugar, you want to consume carbs and sweets and stuff like that, okay? So be careful of that. For me personally, as I said, I lost tremendous amount of weight when Jupiter entered into my sign, because I am the explorer too. I have Sagittarius moon, okay? I love traveling, I love going out and about, I love meeting new people, getting to new people, learning something new, okay? And that's what Jupiter brought to me. But if I was sitting in one corner and doing nothing with the energy that Jupiter provided, then yeah, obviously I'm gonna just be eating food. And you can't believe it, guys, even after my pregnancy in 2002, I lost tremendous amount of weight in a blink of an eye. Literally, I lost too much weight. And that's the other blessings that, yes, Jupiter brought to me in 2002. I got pregnant, okay? In fact, when I gave birth to my son in 2003, but I was pregnant for most of the time. And yeah, when I was pregnant, guys, you can't believe it, I was like a ball. Literally, I was like swollen. But after I gave birth to my son in 2003, I just lost tremendous amount of weight. But anyways, the other thing I want to share with you, the other blessings is, well, I don't know if it's a blessings, but I just want to share this experience with you. Once again, I've been telling you I'm a double Cancer and my moon in Sagittarius. You guys can't believe it. And I have made a video a while ago in Synastry, and I told you about, it was a different chart, but it's very similar to my chart and my ex-husband's chart. I have never told you what my ex-husband is sun sign. My ex-husband was a Sagittarius, okay? He was a Sagittarius sun, Capricorn rising, and Cancer moon. Yes, my ex-husband was Cancer moon. His moon was in Cancer. In fact, his north node was in Cancer as well, and his vertex was in Cancer. So I can't remember what else was in Cancer, but yeah, his north node was in Cancer and his moon was in Cancer, and the vertex can predict marriage, okay? It's funny, guys, that my moon is in Sagittarius. So the reason I'm sharing with this with you is to just so that you understand why I selected, or why it's not only, it's obviously because I have a Sagittarius moon, and Jupiter is all about exploring other horizons and learning and learning hidden realms and mysticism and stuff like that. Okay. And Jupiter is also about spirituality and faith and belief, but also whatever experience I had with my ex. Okay. Because once again, we are both, I am a Sagittarius moon, he's a Sagittarius sun. He has he has his moon in Cancer and the North Node in Cancer, and I am a Cancer sun and rising. So whatever our planet charts, I was like, planet charts, sorry, birth charts, I was like thinking, what did go wrong? Why this marriage did not, succeed, did not last? Because we were in karmic relationship. I was literally sitting in his North Node, Cancer, because his North Node in Cancer, okay? And his Saturn was sitting in Leo, where my South Node is, okay? Because my North Node is in Aquarius, and my South Node is in Leo, and his Saturn was sitting in Leo. Okay, so, and that I'm telling you this. So he was sitting, his Saturn was sitting in my North Node, and Saturn is the ruler of my 7th house, okay, as a Cancer, if you know what I mean. I'm not showing you my chart, but I'm just explaining to you. So Saturn rules my 7th house, and he is a Capricorn rising. He's Sagittarius sun, Capricorn rising, and his moon in Cancer. So think about it in this way. So as you see here, the South Node is Virgo. My ex-husband, South Node, my South Node, imagine this in Leo, in my case, okay? He has his Saturn sitting in Leo, where my South Node is. So this is a karmic relationship coming from past life. So for me, he was a karmic person coming from my past life. I have to deal with and move on and leave it behind. It's going to end. Whereas I am, because my ex has his moon in Cancer, but he has his North Node in Cancer as well. Okay, and vertex in Cancer. So see this vertex, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, the vertex, as you see here in the chart, the vertex in Sagittarius. Okay, this is funny, but for him, my ex, his vertex was in Cancer, so, and his North Node in Cancer, and his moon in Cancer, and Cancer, I am Cancer sun and rising. Okay, so for him, he has to chase me to come to meet me. And yes, both of us met in a foreign land. So for both of us, we met in a foreign country, foreign land, to both of us. Okay, so this is just so that you know the importance of astrology. If you learn astrology, you're gonna love it. Do I miss him? Do I think about him? No, I'm just giving you an example, because once again, for me, he's a karmic person from my past life, a karmic soul. Okay, karmic relationship, karmic, not the, well, we can say soulmate, but it's karmic. Okay, it has to end, and it has to die, and I have to move on, because he was sitting in my South Node, or his Saturn was sitting in my South Node. And Saturn, once again, is the ruler of my 7th house, the house of marriage. Okay, so I just want to share this with you so that you have better understanding how astrology works and how these planets have, effect on us. What else I want to say? Now, the other thing is I want to talk about is Jupiter in the family, or in the roots house, which is Cancer, or in the house of your roots, your family. Okay, it is the house also of your children, the house also of what you like. Remember, Jupiter or Zeus saved his siblings. Okay, so that's why I mentioned that Jupiter will provide protection. to the family, to the family roots, to the house, a protection to the children. Okay, because remember, Zeus did everything to his ability to protect his children, his siblings. And why we talk about Jupiter? When we talk about Jupiter, we talk about luck. Because remember, Jupiter was lucky enough, was the luckiest, because he was saved by his mom, okay, and his grandma from his, um, from his father Cronus, who wanted to eat him as well. That's why Jupiter brings luck, whereas Saturn brings karma. Saturn is the lord of karma, but both of them have similar energy in terms of being the husband, being the father, being the higher teacher, or the master, or the taskmaster. Okay, so Jupiter brings luck because Jupiter was lucky. Okay, Jupiter is attached to luck, is associated, not attached, is associated with luck, because Jupiter does bring luck to you. Jupiter was lucky when he was saved by his mother. Okay, so this is another reason why Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, because Cancer is the energy of the mother, is the moon. Okay, so Jupiter was saved by his mother, so he feels safe when he gets into Cancer. Not only exalted, he feels safe. He feels that he's in his sanctuary house. He feels in this house where he can save everybody, his siblings, his family, his children, and so on and so forth. So now you understand why Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, because once again, he was saved by his mom. Okay, and he was lucky. So this is the house of luck. Okay, and lots of astrologers, they don't share this with you because they don't know. Okay, because Jupiter, now you probably see that I talk too much. Once again, I have moon in Sagittarius, but I also have the wisdom of Jupiter. Okay, yeah, so, and that's what Jupiter brings. Okay, Jupiter brings wisdom, brings knowledge, brings higher knowing. Okay, connection with the divine, connection with your spirit guides, and connection with your higher self as well. I think I pretty much covered everything. Now, once again, just before I end this, don't worry about this square between Jupiter and Saturn. It's going to. I'm just going to share a small example, very small example with you. So, for example, I was going to buy a car, and I am buying a new car. Okay, but I got some obstacles in my way. And that's Saturn. So I'm sharing this with you because the energy of the square is building up. Okay, so yeah, I do have obstacles at the moment in my way to purchase a car. It's related to I moved from another, like, here in Canada, we have each province has its own regulations and its own laws and stuff like that. So one of the things that now I have to do is to exchange my driver's license, because I'm not in Ontario anymore. I'm not going to share with you where I am. I am still in Canada, but I moved to another province. So this is another obstacle in my way. Unless I change or exchange my driver's license to the province where I am, I can still use my driver's license, but for me to purchase a car and have it be the owner and have it under my name, I have to exchange my driver's license. Not only that, the insurance, because in Canada here we have auto insurance. You can't drive without auto insurance. So yeah, my auto insurance in Ontario doesn't cover me here in the province where I am. So there are some few obstacles, but it's just a matter of process. Okay, it's a matter of I have to follow the structure. I have to follow the process. That's what Saturn is: process, law, regulations. Follow the rules. Okay, take it one step at a time. There are stages and phases. You have to go through the process. Okay, and that's what Saturn. So I'm just giving an example of the obstacle, how Saturn makes you feel restricted, makes you feel limited. Okay, and this is the energy of the square. Okay, but once again, after June the 15th, this energy going to dissipate and it's going to get less and less. I don't know what else I want to share with you. I think that's enough but once again, guys, remember, June the 24th is the most beautiful day, and you're going to feel not only the luckiest day for the last 23 years, not since 2013, no, for the last 23 years. We didn't experience this because the last cazimi that happened between Jupiter and the Sun happened on July 19th of 2002. Remember, July the 19th, 2002. We had conjunction in Cancer at 27 degrees and 10 minutes, and 23 years later, okay, we are going to have this conjunction once again in the sign of Cancer, okay. And this is the most fortunate day ever. When these two planets meet together in a cazimi, in a conjunction like this is the most beautiful day. And this once again coincide with the summer equinox, and also the very following day on the 25th we will have a new moon in Cancer. So new manifestation, new start, okay. So what I see once again for many for all signs, generally speaking, and I'm gonna make another video. I have so many things to take care of, guys. I can't speak with about each of the signs, and I'm gonna make another video about June energies. But this, once again, Jupiter in Cancer, because Cancer is the sign of the mother, is the sign of the house, is the sign of protection, is the sign of the family, is the sign of the mother, okay. So we will see people expanding their houses, buying new houses, moving to new houses, moving to new foreign lands, to new lands, so being relocated, purchasing cars. Remember, also we have Mercury here in Cancer, late degrees, but Mercury then gonna enter into Virgo, and yeah, so this means purchasing a new car, and and travel, and new opportunity, elevation in for Cancer and water signs, generally speaking, new relationship. For so many of you Cancerian in particular, they're going to be pregnancy and marriage 100%, guys. It doesn't mean all Cancerian gonna get married, but yeah, it's a year, okay. It's a year, and you'll see pregnancy, and that's expansion, or a new person gonna come and join, live with you, so that's expansion in the house. I don't know what else I didn't mention. Legal matters gonna go to your favor, not only Cancer, but all water signs, and Scorpio, and Cancer particularly, okay. And now expansion on all levels for Leo, for example, okay. The energy of Jupiter in Cancer, because that's Leo's 12th house, is different than the energy of Jupiter in Gemini for Cancer. Why I say that? Because Jupiter in Cancer is in its exaltation. So for Leo, you're going to reach higher knowledge, you're going to be very faithful, you're going to be protected, okay. No matter you're going to be protected. There are going to be enemies 100%, but you are going to be protected, okay. And it's like a miracle. You're going to see miracles, Leo, okay. That's the energy of the 12th house, Jupiter in Cancer, because once again, the energy of Jupiter in Cancer and exaltation is different than in Gemini. In Gemini, rumors, scandals, enemies, hidden enemies, people are being exposed, masks are falling, and stuff like that. But the energy in Cancer is protection, is love, is faith, is realms of mysticism, and realms of higher ascension, okay, higher knowledge, okay. That's pretty much what I want to share with you, guys. I want you to be receptive to this energy. Don't try to block it. Go out and about, meet new people. Don't stay home and eat carbs and consume lots of carbs and sweets and stuff, because if you don't take advantage of the energy of Jupiter in Cancer, then unfortunately, yes, you're gonna gain weight, okay. So that's what I have for you guys. I wish you best of luck, and I wish you a happy Jupiter in Cancer year.
Okay, sorry guys,
And I'll see you in the
all of a
next one.
sudden the recording app I'm using cut me off. Okay, I'm not sure why, but anyways, let me go back to what I was saying. So we'll see here Jupiter at an erratic degree, the change from Gemini to Cancer. The energy is shifting, and when this anaretic degree happens, or when a planet comes to an anaretic degree, it creates sudden change in the energy. Okay, shift in the energy. It's sudden, it's unpredictable, and it's shocking. It's very similar to Uranus. Okay, so Jupiter is leaving Gemini and entering into Cancer. Okay, Saturn already entered into Aries, is at 0 degree and 47 minutes, and 0 degree is also an erratic degree. So the energy from Pisces, which is all concerned about also the people being sympathizing with others and the people who are in need and having empathy, to being selfish, individual, worry about me, myself, and I, under the rulership of Mars, which is also in fire sign, Leo. Okay. So let me share with you what's going on. So what's going on in US now? We all know that President Trump is a Gemini sun and Leo rising. Okay? And we also know that Elon Musk is a Cancer. He's actually double Cancer, if I'm not mistaken. I know his sun sign is in Cancer. Can't remember what his rising is, but I'm pretty sure. I have a feeling that he's either Cancer with rising in Gemini or double Cancer. I can't remember what's his rising, but his sun is in Cancer. Okay. So there's a beef going on now about the tax bill that was signed by President Trump, which is a big tax bill that going to put USA under trillions of dollars of debt. Elon Musk didn't like that. Okay? Elon Musk is saying that this is going to put the country in trillions of debt and deficit, and we won't be able to pay. President Trump saying, nope, Elon Musk is aware of this bill, and I don't appreciate what Elon Musk is saying, and the Republicans, they voted for it, and Elon Musk wants Democrat to be in charge of this and that, and all this beef is going on now between Trump and Elon Musk, when Elon Musk actually supported President Trump in his election. He supported him when he was in charge of Dodge, and reduced billions of dollars that were wasted in government spending. Okay. So, and this is exactly what we're talking about, the challenge and the square between Saturn, fire sign, or in fire sign in Aries, under the rulership of Mars in Leo, okay, and the shift of Jupiter from Gemini into Cancer, and the concern about the family and the country and what works for the country. Okay, Jupiter does bring abundance, prosperity, and luck. Saturn is restriction, tyranny, dictatorship. And hey, I'm just being honest. I'm a Cancer. And yeah, it always concerned us to be, in favor of our family, in favor of what works for the family and works for our roots and our home and all that cool stuff, the group. Okay, that's the energy of Cancer under the rulership of the moon. Okay, now the problem with all of this is not only the square between Saturn and Jupiter, it's also the square or the energy of the challenge and the fights and the beef
that's building up between Uranus and Mars. Okay? Uranus and Taurus is also concerned about commodities and, physical and tangible, possessions, money, all that cool stuff. That's what Taurus energy is about tangible, items, possessions, um, materialistic, um, you know, property or properties, or also uh, and Taurus is also all about precious metals, like gold, silver, diamond, all kind of precious metals. Okay, Uranus here sitting to create a change, sudden change, shocking, unpredictable change, and is creating this shift, or technically Mars is going to fight the change. So there is a fight going on, and it's getting worse and worse until it perfects on the 15th. Okay? That's on the global level, and we're going to see more. I am also expecting, and I mentioned that before, that Taurus is under, or Israel is ruled by Taurus. Okay, that's a sign of Israel. And Mars, which is the ruler of Scorpio and Aries. Okay, Palestine is obviously Scorpio. What am I talking about? Sorry, guys. I'm just so tired. Okay. I meant, what I'm trying to say is Scorpio is ruled by Mars. Okay. And Scorpio is actually the sign of Palestine. And so I'm expecting a huge, could be explosion, could be shedding bloods and stuff like that in the Middle East. But also I'm expecting something between Ukraine and Russia as well. As the energy is building up. Okay, this energy between Mars and Uranus is very scary energy, guys. Very scary energy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, it's a big fight. There will be shedding bloods. There will be use of nuclear weapons, or even very dangerous weapons. Okay, not necessarily nuclear, but the energy is building up. It's really, really scary. Now, on top of that, as I speak today, as we see here, okay, the moon is in Libra, and Libra for Cancer is the 4th house. Once again, the house of the family, and the house of Libra, as the 7th house in the zodiacal wheel, is the house of my relationship. Libra has very similar qualities to Cancer. Now, for Cancer, this is the 4th house, the house of the country, of the family, of the roots, of the home, and so on and so forth. And where the moon is sitting. Now, the moon is going to enter into Scorpio tomorrow. Once again, under the rulership of Mars. Okay? And when the moon enters into Scorpio, is going to be in detriment, because the moon rules the moon exalted in Taurus. Okay, so when the moon enters here, it's in detriment. It's going to be very weak. There's going to be hidden agenda. There's going to be betrayal. Okay, there's going to be secrets, and that will lead to this explosion. That's the energy of the explosion that's building up between Uranus and Mars. And you know what, guys? This can work in many different ways on the personal level, but this is the energy we're seeing now. Okay, and it is building up. And I'm sorry to give you this negative news, but it is what it is. Okay, but I want you to rest assured that as Jupiter in Cancer,
Okay, and as Jupiter continue his journey into Cancer, the energy will dissipate, and this too shall pass. Okay, especially when we will have new moon in Cancer and Jupiter Kazemi on the 24th. Jupiter Kazemi going to be on the 24th, and I spoke in length about it, and I also mentioned the new moon in Cancer, which is going to be the very following day within hours from the Jupiter Kazemi. Okay, so I see that despite what's going to happen in the next few days, by the 15th, the energy is going to shift. But remember also the full moon that we will have on the 11th. So this full moon we will have in Sagittarius, okay, is going to be on the 11th, a few days before this energy of the square is going to perfect. So remember, the square is not only between Saturn and Jupiter, but also between Mars and Uranus. Two squares, okay? The transit you see here, this chart is of June the 5th, but I showed you in another video. It's very similar to this, okay? Except that the moon is going to continue her journey into Scorpio tomorrow, and then we will have full moon by the 11th and Sagittarius. The moon stays in each sign about 2 days and a half, okay? So this is the update I have. We're all watching what's going to happen, and I am just hoping for peace and tranquility everywhere, including in our homes, in our families, okay, between our family members. So yeah, I'm hoping for peace, and Cancer is the sign of peace, okay? That's why Jupiter likes to be in Cancer. And I know that Jupiter will succeed in his journey, okay? I love you guys, and I wish you a happy Jupiter Kazemi and Jupiter in Cancer, and I'll see you on the next one.